Okay. Okay. All right. Hi everybody, welcome to part 2 of Emma. As you can see, it's a pretty nice evening out, and so I'm doing Emma from outdoors. All right. Okay. So Emma part 2. I felt Emma kick my leg onto the table, but not real hard. Are you going to play in this life or the next? She asked me. Huh? I asked. She held up the cards, almost showing me what she had in her hand. Do that one more time, I said. She made a funny face and pressed the cards to her chest, acting like a little girl. She pushed her hair back and looked up at the clock. I knew what she was going to say next. We've been playing for an hour, Dory. It's getting late. I think you're tired. You really should go to bed now. I begged. Please, just a little longer, Emma. Oops, it slipped. I covered my mouth. What did you call me, Dorian? She asked. I told her that I was sorry. That's what Maria and I call her when we're playing grown-up. She kind of smiled and didn't say anything, so it must have been okay. She looked up at the clock again. Then she looked at her watch. I knew she was waiting for him. I wondered if he was still with the lady at the train station. I hate it when he makes us wait like this. Do you want to do something else, Mommy? I asked. Before she answered, I said, I know what we can do. We can play Hang the Man. She shook her head. Monopoly? She shook her head again. I know, I said. Let's dance. I stood on my chair to turn on the radio. I knocked over the sugar can. She caught it as it rolled off the counter. She pulled me back down into my chair. No, we will not dance, she said. Well, then, here, I said, pushing the book across the table. Let's finish Little Women. She smiled a little bit. I think she was going to do it, but we heard Daddy's car pull up in the garage. Emma threw her cards on the table and ran to the back door. She was so happy to see him. She acted like a little puppy, licking and kissing his face. He was sort of happy to see her, but not happy like when he sees the lady at the train station. Every night I would sit at the top of the stairs next to their door. Sometimes I could hear him telling Mommy that he loved her. She would ask, Only me? Daddy said, You're the only woman in my life, Emma. They would talk some more, and the bed would squeak a lot. I couldn't hear them talking anymore, so I would go to my room. I told Maria about it. She said, See, I told you, Dory. It's all just a part of the game. I told her, It's not much of a game to me. I don't like this game at all. It just seems to me that Emma should know who has the little joker. The next morning when I woke up, Emma was bouncing up and down on my bed singing, wake up, sleepyhead. I sat up on my elbows so I could see if the sun was in Mr. Teddy's cup. When Granddaddy was here last summer, he teased me a lot about staying in bed too long. He said Emma did the same thing when she was a little girl. Granddaddy had lots of funny ideas. He propped Mr. Teddy on the rocker and tied my yellow cup on his arm. Now, Dory, he said, when the sun is in this cup, it's 12 noon. All little girls should be up by then. Why? I asked. So you won't miss anything, he told me. When I asked him how he knew it was noon, he said it was because he lived on a farm and farmers just know about these things. Granddaddy told me a long story about farmers. There was a lot of stuff about chickens and getting up early. I told Maria. She thought I was real smart. Granddaddy said even Emma could tell time by the sun. Maria liked that part a whole lot. That's why she let me teach her how to tell time in Mr. Teddy's cup. Granddaddy said this was our little game. We shook hands and all that stuff. I liked Granddaddy. He always came to my room to talk to me. Daddy never came in my room unless it was to get Mommy. I hugged Granddaddy every day that he stayed with us. His gray whiskers stuck in my face. But I hugged him harder anyway. He picked me up so I could almost touch the light. Then he'd bounce me on my bed a while and just stand there, staring out the window. Sometimes he took his pipe out of his pocket and beat it in his hand. He told me that holding the cup would keep Mr. Teddy busy. That's funny, I said, because Mr. Teddy needs something to keep him busy, and Daddy said you need something to keep you busy. That made him laugh. Then he said the strangest thing. He said Daddy was busy enough for both of them. Then he called me Emma. Granddaddy had a strange look on his face when he said that. I'm not Emma, I told him. I'm Dory. He pulled my braid and said, You seem to be the one and the same to me, Dory. I wasn't sure what he meant, but I liked him thinking I was the same as Emma. We had a real good time that summer. Daddy came home early every night. He even stayed home for work one day. He wore blue overalls like Granddaddy. Emma and I wore some too. We dug up the backyard and planted a garden. We worked in it all summer, getting dirty and laughing a lot. Maria worked in the garden with us. Miss Robinson never came over, but Emma sent vegetables to her. Sometimes she sent them back, cooked into vegetable pies. I don't really like them, but Emma and Granddaddy liked them a lot. So I pretended to like them too. When summer was almost over, Granddaddy went back to his farm. Daddy drove him to the airport early one morning before the sun was in Mr. Teddy's cup. Emma sat on the steps with me and Maria and watched them drive away. She started to cry. Maria and I cried too. I missed him. He made everybody happy at our house. I forgot about the lady at the train station. I think Daddy forgot about her too. One day, Maria told me that she wanted to live on a farm when she grew up. I thought you wanted to be like Emma, I told her. I do, she said. Emma lives here. You can't live on a farm and be like Emma. But she told me that she could be Emma when she used to live on a farm. Maria didn't even know Emma then. I asked her how she could do that, but she told me not to worry about it. I didn't have time to worry about it because Emma came to the door talking real fast about new school clothes, a busy day, and hurry. Mrs. Robinson was already in the car when we got to the garage. It didn't take long before we got to town. We went to a lot of shops. Emma had me trying on all kinds of stuff. I lost Maria for a while. I guess Mrs. Robinson had her someplace trying on a bunch of stuff too. We found them and drove to the mall. Maria and I talked about our new clothes. Emma and Mrs. Robinson were talking too. I wanted to listen, but they were so quiet. Besides, Maria kept talking. When we got to the mall, Maria and I went to the arcade. We played Miss Pac-Man until we ran out of tokens. What do we do now? I asked Maria. I knew what Maria wanted to do. We said at the same time, let's go to Gino's and eat with Emma, I added. And your mama too. All right. Emma and Mrs. Robinson were sitting out front at Gino's watching the ice skaters. Maria wanted to ice skate, but I wanted to roller skate. After she found out that I put her roller skates in the car instead of her ice skates, she was a little bit mad. She kept calling me a brat. It didn't matter as long as I knew she was going to the train station to skate with me. Mrs. Robinson and Emma were talking with their heads close together. Emma's black hair and Mrs. Robinson's red hair looked pretty. It looked like they had one head with two colors, like Jabbo, the downtown clown. Then Maria said, "Let's play Emma and Ruby." "You can be Ruby and I'll be Emma," she told me. "I like to play grown up, but I don't like it when I have to be Maria's mama." Maria and I got into another fight. She wanted me to be her mama because I'm short like her mama. I might be short like her mama, but I dress like my mommy. When I told Maria that, she just said, "Well, then your stupid teddy bear could be Emma because it dresses just like her too." That made me mad because Mr. Teddy is a boy. I yelled at Maria. She got angry and grabbed my arm. She squeezed it real tight. I screamed, but she wouldn't let go. I screamed again. She tried to cover my mouth with her hand. I was going to bite it when her mama yanked her away from me. Mrs. Robinson pushed Maria into a chair. "I'm surprised at you two," she said, "making all these loud noises in public." She didn't sound surprised to me, just long and boring. No wonder Maria wanted to be Emma, I thought. Mrs. Robinson kept talking on and on. I kept waiting for her to stop, but it was taking a long time, and Maria was making some awful faces. Robinson waved to a lady passing by. I whispered to Maria, "Okay, you can be Emma." She smiled. Emma touched both of us on the hand and said, "Now isn't this much better than fighting?" Mrs. Robinson said, "They're both impossible. You should have them both, Emma." Emma smiled and winked at us. "Maria would pack up and leave with you at a moment's notice," she said. Emma said, "That would be nice. Dory needs a sister to share her things. It will keep her from being spoiled." I said, "I'm not spoiled, Mommy." She pulled my braid. "You're not spoiled too bad," she said. I pushed her away. I always pretended not to like it when she did that. It always made her do it again. Okay, so that is the end of part 2 of Emma, and part 3 will be along shortly.